Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Richest Men in Town podcast. I'm Mike Freeman, and along with my good friend and co-host Tyler Gould, we're excited to welcome you to our little podcast project. Tyler and I are just a couple of middle-aged husbands and dads driven to live our best lives. We want to be better every day, so here we'll be sitting down with great people. Not famous people, but great people that we admire, to learn their secret to living the rich life. Probably not the rich life you're thinking of. Our guests come in humbled and surprised at the invitation and hopefully leave feeling proud and grateful, realizing just how good they really have it. So pull up a chair, stay a while, and raise a glass with us as we toast our guests to the richest men in town.
It's the process, man. It's like, and I'll tell you this, like if my kids were lining up out the door going, fire up the car, dad, and get me the heck out of here, then I'd be a little more concerned, right? So the fact that they're a little bit
and I kind of dig that going through this, the idea is that we talk about that internal script that's running between their ears, right? Like some identity is being forged here.
Oh, for sure.
It's some reminders of like, who are you? You've been born of goodly parents, right? That you've got these things that you've had these experiences where you've learned some sacred things. All of these things are being fortified right now.
Yeah, I agree. And let's not kid ourselves, Mike. I'm in the middle of the process.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, this is my third walking out the door, getting ready to go spread the wings and go. And I feel exactly the same as I did with the first. And I'm trying to it's funny because you say, well, you're born of goodly parents, you've had these sacred experiences, but in my, I know that that's the process for them, but for me, I'm thinking, was I a goodly parent? Did I provide the opportunities? Did I provide the experiences? So you're kind of, as she's kind of, fortifying those pieces of the foundation, I'm sort of going back and doing the reinspection of the foundation. Did I lay it here right? Was it square when I did this?
Yeah.
Was it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And there's no way, right? I mean, there's no way it's as good as we wanted it to be, but in the end.
Yeah. I mean, it's good, but yeah, you can't help but go, yeah, that one time when I did that one thing, that didn't help anybody. You know what I mean? So,
it hasn't really hit me. It didn't really hit me until I walked down and saw the field on graduation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sit down. It's like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
Right. Cause you got the whirlwind, you got family in town, and everyone's going to dinner, and you got this and you got that. And it's like, this is just fun. Right. And it's like, oh, and then you sit down and it's like, oh, wow, son's going to walk across that stage. And I love moments where everything is different.
Yeah.
Everything's the same and everything's different. The school will always be there. The teachers are the teachers, but the second you have that piece of paper in your hand, the school feels different. The teacher interaction is different. Everything's different. I dig not very many moments in life where in an instant everything changes. We just had one.
Yeah, and it's I was telling Abby as we were walking into the graduation, I said, Dad, this just doesn't feel real to me. It's like I feel like we're going to this thing to see what other people experience with graduation, and then we'll do it a few years later. That's how I felt, but it's like, it's here, man. And and she's, as we're walking out of graduation, we see Abigail and we were like, oh, hey, we want to get some pictures. She said, you guys can just go. I'm going to take some pictures with my friends. We're like, okay. So, so it's like, I love that. And I remember that feeling of graduating and loving my family, but being ready to go, like it was time. And I didn't know what that meant. Like, cause at the time, was it a mission? Was it just leaving the house? Was it going to school? Like, I didn't have any idea what that meant, but I just felt that somewhere inside of me that I gotta go and
see, for me, it's interesting for me. My mom and I were sitting out on the patio having a conversation early in the morning, man, that Mike Freeman was lost.
Yeah.
Right? Like I don't even recognize that kid. You know, and I look
Yeah.
at where my kids are, and that's part of the marvel. I look at where my kids are, and it's like, oh man, light years ahead. Like
Yeah.
I think under my graduation gown, I think I was rocking shorts, blown out flip flop, and I'm having a Malox moment t-shirt.
Dude, you need to resurrect that outfit, man. Yeah, I mean, look, I can relate to that description of yourself with myself too, but like I said, I didn't have a clear path forward
Yeah.
at that point in my life, but I knew there was, like, I knew that I couldn't be the guy that was living in his parents' house. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. We were at family dinner. So on my side, my
Yeah.
nieces came and we went out to Kobe's, right, and had some teppanyaki. And so you're sitting around and like, you know, so Josh's daughters are right there,
Yeah.
right? Just you know, what major what am I studying in college? What do I want to do with my
Yeah.
career? And so I'm just like, talk to me. What's going on in life? And it's like, hey, I need you guys to know, like, I don't want to go old man on you, but I'm hoping that you guys coming in are going to change some things about this world,
Yeah.
right? Like, we got some issues, and I think that you guys jumping in can actually help us solve some of these issues. And they're looking at us like, Uncle Mike, I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. I was like, isn't that awesome?
Yeah, I know, dude. Yeah.
Isn't that amazing that any one of you guys can jump in and make some decisions, and your lives will turn on tiny hinge moments, and then who knows what changes will happen. And then my mom, you know, when I mentioned tiny hinges, the podcast comes up, and hey, have you listened to your dad's episode? So we start getting into Uncle Josh's
Yeah.
start getting into his life a little bit. And she says, hey, I want everybody around me to know right now that if I don't have this one day in my life, none of you are here.
Yeah.
And these young kids are like, whoa. And I'm like, isn't that cool? Because you can go have one of those days tomorrow.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah, I agree, man. And I think that those days are, you know, I think the experience of tiny hinges, I mean, obviously when we reflect, we see them throughout our lives, right? But I'm excited for, I think the setting of the concrete of the foundation is going to happen outside the walls of my home.
Yeah.
You know.
So
So
you do the work, right? You
yeah.
do all the I know nothing about concrete, but before the concrete's poured, there's all those.
You and me both. I have no idea.
I don't know
We'll,
what it's
get
called.
We'll get a
Right?
concrete expert.
We'll call them
on
footings, right? But you got the wrought iron, you got all the fancy all the fancy board.
I'm with you 100%. I don't think anyone else is with us, but I'm totally with you.
But it's like, that's our job, right?
Yeah,
that's our job.
absolutely.
In the home, we do all of that prep work, and then it's like, I think you're 100% right. Go, and that's where it's poured.
Yeah. So it's fun, man. I mean, I have my moments of this is a bummer, but I have to pull myself out of that and step back a few steps and look at, you know, all the exciting stuff that's coming. So it's good stuff.
It's coming.
It's coming, whether we like it or not, man. It's coming. You know?
Yeah.
So, well, hey,
so I think last time we were together, we were chatting it up, and you quoted, or you shared a thought from one of your kids' graduation speeches.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So let me give you one from ours.
Okay, let's hear it, man.
Johnny Miller.
We're going John. I love Johnny Miller, man.
Johnny Miller, right?
Yeah, lay it on me.
Johnny Miller. I'm in a graduation ceremony, and I hear the director of the school quote Johnny Miller. It's not so much what you accomplish in life that really matters, but what you overcome that proves who you are, what you are, and whether you are a champion. Not what you accomplish, but what you have overcome. And so this makes me think, and I got to reconnect, man. I tried to share a YouTube link, and I don't think the link ever landed with you.
Yeah, it didn't come. Yeah.
Clayton Christensen, How Will You Measure Your Life?
Okay. Yeah.
Like this idea of God doesn't employ accountants. You know, he's going to, when we meet God, he's not going to have a ledger. He's going to say, hey, let's look at when I put you in this situation. How did you remember me? How did you influence those around you? And then remember, I took you from that situation and I put you over here. What did you overcome there? What did you learn about me? What did you learn about my son? What did you learn about yourself? And how did you influence those around you? And it's like, wow, that's so powerful, man. Powerful. Clayton Christensen, How Will You Measure Your Life, from Harvard Business School. Incredible man, incredible message.
Yeah, man. I love that thought. I love it, man.
And then I sent you the 100% responsibility from my boy, Elder Lynn Grant Robbins, former mission president in Uruguay, right? And he's got that anti-responsibility list, you know, and that idea of like there's gospel principles that are powerful and complete when they're paired up, faith and works, and we're always trying to, which one matters? They both matter. They're complementary pair, agency and accountability, and then justice and mercy, right? And that thought of like Satan loves to get in there and split those pairs. Yeah. And when he does that and he's able to convince mankind that, hey, you don't need, you're free, but you don't have to be accountable. Right. Or, hey, you can have faith and it doesn't matter what you do. Yeah. Right. When he splits those things, crazy things happen. And then he gets into that sharing the list of, well, this is what he tempts us to do when we don't want to be responsible, right? Blame other people, justify, make excuses, trivializing sin, hiding things, all of that. It was so powerful. We'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah, it's a classic, man. It's a classic.
Well, try serving with a guy who believes in 100% responsibility, right?
Yeah.
Like, well, President, this happened. Yeah. Elder Freeman, what did you do about it, right? You're 100% responsible.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I love that thought. I think that's key for, you know, to me, that's like leadership 101, right? Whether you're in a leadership position or not, like you have to be, there's a lot of good things that come when you're willing to let the buck stop right there with you, right? And you know, I've told my kids before, like the excuses I'm not so much concerned about, you know, like what happened and what's the plan moving forward, right?
Exactly. I'm not really even interested in how we got here.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? Like
we're here.
Yeah, it could be a good story. We could talk about that later, but I don't really care about that. Like we're here. What's the plan moving forward?
Yeah, this is what he says. Being 100% responsible is accepting yourself as the person in control of your life. If others are at fault and need to change before further progress is made, then you are at their mercy and they are in control over the positive outcomes or desired results in your life. Agency and responsibility are inseparably connected. You cannot avoid responsibility without also diminishing agency. Mercy and justice are also inseparable. You cannot deny the Lord's justice without also impeding his mercy. Oh, how Satan loves to divide complementary principles and laugh at the resulting devastation.
Yeah, look, that is just like a good. I mean, that applies to so much, right? I mean,
because then you'll take every aspect, right? You'll look at every aspect. It's like, well, what can I control in this situation? And then you will go do 100%. You will be held accountable for every ounce of that situation that was in your control. And when you say, my happiness is banking on the fact that my husband's going to do this or my wife's going to do that, you yield your control over your happiness in your life to that person.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, you know, it applies to everything, our work, our personal lives, our relationships, our, you know, obviously the spiritual side of things. But I love that idea, man. There's so many people that like, and myself included at times, right? Where you kind of get into that blame game of, yeah, man, if things weren't, I was having a conversation with someone, a good friend of mine a couple months back, and we kind of grew up similarly, you know, and he said to me, yeah, I kind of wish he's like, there's times where I look back and I think, I wish that my parents would have helped me launch better, and life could have been different had that
That's
been
timely for you, right?
Yeah. And he's kind of in that same stage of life,
Yeah.
But then, as we were talking about that, we were both like, but look at all the stuff that we had to kind of do and wade through and overcome and where we're at now. And it's powerful stuff, so I love that idea of like, you kind of have to embrace what life throws at you, and then you own it. You own it.
Well, and that idea of overcoming, I came across a quote. Someone once asked me, "Why do you always insist on taking the hard road?" And I replied, "Why do you assume I see two roads?"
Yeah, exactly. Was there a choice? Because I missed that one, man. I just thought we were just plugging along.
If I'm trying to go up, the only road is up.
That's right, man.
Under Armour. The only way is through.
It's like I said earlier, I am at this point where I'm watching another one of my kids. Someone said to me the other day, "I love your kids so much. The only thing I don't love is that they keep leaving your house." And I was like, yeah, you and me both, But I am having this sort of these reflective moments where I look and say, okay, she's or he or, all of them are kind of in the middle of this refiner's fire of like shoring up these very important life principles. But I neglect most of the time to remember that I too am in the middle of that as well, shoring up these things. And quite frankly, the simple fact of my kids walking out the front door, putting suitcases in cars and getting ready to leave is part of that process for me,
Yeah. Can I give you a missionary update from Grace Freeman, Philadelphia? Under 2 months left, right? This thing's coming fast. In a small, crazy world.
Yeah.
Grace is serving in Pennsylvania. We have Reading kids selling bug service half an hour away from Grace Freeman.
Did they go see her?
No, they're all three so two of the bug kids, shout out to Tyler Wakefield and Brooke McClara. Tyler's been selling bug service, and then once the deal is closed, been handing out books or preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ to people. And the two bug people and Grace Freeman are going to do a collaboration and teach somebody that Tyler Wakefield sold bug service to.
Wow.
In Pennsylvania.
That's interesting, man. That's quite the move. I mean,
it's pretty cool. So this Sunday, tomorrow, Grace is palling up with a couple of returned missionary friends, and they're gonna do work together. It's interesting.
That's awesome, man.
Kind of cool.
That's awesome. Time flies, man. She's almost done.
Yeah, it's flying.
Almost done.
And hey, reporting out, I went. By the time folks are listening to this, Bunker's going to be viral, right? Our episode with Brian Bunker. I went and got some Fairlife chocolate protein shakes.
Hey.
And I will be implementing the no breakfast, 10:30 protein shake, light lunch, and throwing some exercise in the morning and win the calorie game. So,
Hey, I love it, man.
I haven't tasted them yet.
I've never had one. I don't know.
I'm going on full faith of Bunker's endorsement of Fairlife.
That's pretty. Look, I'll be honest. If Brian Bunker makes a recommendation, it's generally a good recommendation. I've yet to be led astray by Brian Bunker. So.
Well, let me give you another recommendation from another Brian.
Yeah.
You ready for this? So Brian Beasley, friend of the program, right?
Yeah.
Brian Beasley has recommended this book, The Hero Code. And this is from our boy, Admiral William H. McCraven.
Yeah.
You may have seen the viral video, Make Your Bed, right? So he's got a couple of books out now. And this one breaks down lessons learned from lives well lived.
I like
and
that.
If that isn't richest man in town, right? I don't know what is. So I actually purchased one for my son, and we are reading. So courage, humility, sacrifice, integrity, compassion, right? A lot of the things that come up in our conversations with rich folks. So
absolutely.
Hero Code.
I love it. I'm gonna have to check that out for sure.
Yeah,
man.
we'll drop that in the show notes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Beasley, thanks for the recommendation.
Well, look,
richest men in town turned 2.
Yeah.
Did that come across your social media feed?
It did. Right? Yeah.
June 10th, yesterday, June 10th, 2 years ago, we launched.
It was a momentous day in the history of podcasts. Yeah.
In the history of beyond podcasts, maybe even the world. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's far reaching. That's
It's
all I can
TBA, right? I mean, it might be a little presumptive right now.
Well, yeah, and it's 2 years. That's gone by fast, right? So
Yeah.
hey, and look, the reality is, Mike. I'm excited for Abe Freeman. I'm excited for what he's got going on, but I will be honest, we're losing our intern.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if it's just because we didn't pay him well or the work demands, but we're gonna have to find a new intern.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what that looks like. Do we put out like a nationwide search?
I think Abe needs to train up Gwen. We'll have 5 years with Gwen, so we could make that happen.
Is 5 years an internship, or is that like indentured servitude or something?
It's a fine line. There's a line in there somewhere. I'm not sure where it's at, but there's a line.
Yeah. Well, hey, and I think last time we got together, we mentioned the passing of Ray Lowry. I had an opportunity to go to his funeral service, and in the funeral service, they had a display, and in one of the artifacts from his life, they had this yellow piece of paper.
Yeah.
And he had written down decades ago what he wanted life to look like. And it's there, full display at the end of his life, at the end of his amazing 81-year life. You're able to read. It's like what the guy put on paper, he did.
Man, that's
right?
Fantastic. Yeah.
What to accomplish in life. Most important right now, marriage, family. Job you can enjoy doing while looking for something else. Spirituality, better relationship with the Lord, and get to know yourself and what you really want was important to young Ray Lowry, and he put it down on paper.
That's very cool, man.
Yeah.
Very cool. And he was a giant, man. He was a giant. So
yeah. And then after marriage, stay active. Always take an active part in church. Stay out of debt. Temple at least 4 times a year. Have planned activities around family. Be in a position to be of help and of service to fellow man. Be honest with people. Make goals for improving your mind, business, etc., by studying and doing things that are necessary. Like, seriously? On paper.
Yeah.
And Ray Lowry made it happen. So let that be a lesson to all of us, right? My son, when he graduated, his freshman history teacher told him to write a letter to himself.
Did you do it?
Yeah. And so the senior year, the last week, those letters come back to the kids.
Those are always great, man.
Everything that kid said.
Yeah.
I want to play varsity basketball. And then like halfway through it, probably oversharing, but he says, I want to put myself out there and make new friends.
That's Abe Freeman, man.
There's something powerful about putting it out there, right? What do you want? What do you want this life to be? Be intentional and be shaping it.
It's good stuff, man.
Love it.
It's good stuff. But hey, look, the wheels turn, man. Life continues to go, and sometimes we want to pump the brakes and pull back on the reins, and it's out of our control, and I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. So I appreciate you, Mike Freeman. I appreciate you.
Let's keep going. Let's see where this goes.
Yeah, I appreciate all this insights that you share with your kids and all the great things they're doing. And hey, I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to grabbing a bite to eat in Utah next week.
Let's go. Let's get together.
Let's do it, man.
Let's get the Goulds and the Freemans together, and let's break some bread. That'll be fun.
Let's do it. All right, my brother.
Drive safe.
All right, you too, man.
All right, we'll see you soon.
All right, take care. See ya.
Good idea, Ernie. A toast to my big brother George, the richest man in town.